And so we stay positive, we remain assured. We will continue to do everything we need to do to continue to uplift our community through education. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Frank Smith. Yancy, could you adjust this mic for me? I'm on my tippy toes a little bit. All right, as he's doing that, again, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for this historic moment. Real quick, I want to acknowledge our very special guest, the team from JPMorgan Chase, who drove several hours to be here for that announcement. If you guys could maybe stand and wave, or if you just want to give a wave offering, is what we call it in church. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, Simmons faculty and staff that are on hand. I know a lot of them are probably in class now, but any Simmons faculty staff? There we go. Hello, welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get started. As we gather in this moment, we acknowledge that today, February 1st, is the first day of Black History Month. During this month, we celebrate history makers and trailblazers who have carved out pathways for us to follow. Names like Rosa Parks and Frederick Douglass are known by the majority. But on today, we'll talk about how Simmons strives to create more names like George Washington Carver, who is a botanist and an inventor, Percy Julian, who is a scientist and a chemist, May Carroll Jameson, an engineer and the first Black female astronaut, Katherine Johnson, she was our hidden figure and a mathematician, and also Marie Daly, the first Black woman to receive a PhD in chemistry in the United States. Data suggests that fewer than 4% of Blacks are in the data science field, and only 3% are women of color. Today, thanks to the philanthropic investment from JPMorgan Chase and partnership with Future of Work Initiative, we can announce that we are working to expose more of our young people to data science. Our social justice initiative has just gained some steam. Joining us today to make this announcement and hosting this and having this panel discussion, we have got Mr. Paul Costell, who is the Regional Manager for Middle Market Banking at JPMorgan Chase. Wave your hand, Mr. Paul. Our amazing President, Reverend Dr. Kevin W. Cosby, President of Simmons College of Kentucky. Ms. Candace Holt, who is one of the co-authors of the grant for the JPMorgan Chase Philanthropic Investment. And she is the VP of Research and Planning, and she is a tech girl, Ms. Candace Holt. Superintendent for Jefferson County Public Schools and a friend of Simmons College of Kentucky, Dr. Marty Polio. And this woman is truly making history and blazing pathways. I'm talking about Alicia Mclean, who's the Executive Director of Louisville Future of Work Initiative. Thank you so much to all of you for participating in this discussion. All right, Mr. Paul, since all of this is all about this wonderful philanthropic investment that JPMorgan Chase has made to Simmons College of Kentucky along with Future Work, I'll go ahead and let you make the big announcement. Why are we here today and talk about the investment that JPMorgan Chase wants to announce today?
Well, first of all, I think this is a day, as you started out by saying, Black History Month, to celebrate that, but also about the great work that Dr. Cosby done at Simmons College. I remember when he started this, he invited some business leaders down here, and his vision and his dream is becoming a reality. It's so exciting. And Dr. Polio's work with Jefferson County Public Schools is amazing, and we've been fortunate enough to partner with them for the past several years on workforce education. And so this is just another step, but a major step for us in investing in HBCUs and Dr. Cosby and Simmons College. So without further ado, we're excited to announce a $500,000 philanthropic investment in Simmons College.
All right. Did you want to talk about why JPMorgan Chase felt this investment into Simmons College and the work that they're doing? Why do you feel that this investment was necessary?
It's important for students today to have a background in data science. It's important for them to have an education in technology. It helps them transition into the workforce, and whether it's just part of their curriculum or it's their major, it's a requirement to get a good job in today's environment. And so we think that this effort, in coordination with Microsoft's effort, will allow the students to find a good job and to find employment, to be able to own a home, to be able to start a business, own a business, and be successful.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. Dr. Cosby, more investment into Simmons College of Kentucky, Louisville's only HBCU. And we all know you're very hands-on president. And as this HBCUs can testify how hard it is to continually secure financial backing. Discuss why investments like this from JPMorgan Chase are so vital.
Well, first of all, I would like to applaud JPMorgan Chase for this investment. This is not only the first day of Black History Month, but it is also a day that commemorates another phase of the civil rights movement that started at a historical Black college and university. 4 students at North Carolina A&T initiated what we now know as the sit-ins. It was on February the 1st when 4 students went to a segregated Woolworth and sat down and said, we are American citizens and we want to be treated with equality and justice. The sit-ins spread to Nashville, Fisk, and then they came to Louisville because there was a restaurant called Blue Boar. It was the president of Blue Boar said that he would fight for the rest of his life Blacks having access to his segregated restaurant. So it's wonderful that on this historic day, when there was a sit-in that restricted Black people, that this wonderful institution, JPMorgan Chase, is saying that we're going to do everything we can possible, not to block you, but to assist you to sit in some places that the data says Blacks historically don't sit in, and that is in science and in technology. Simmons College of Kentucky, like all HBCUs, educate a disproportionately high number of Black students. HBCUs, only 101 of them in the country, are just 3% of the colleges in America, but yet they educate over 20% of all Blacks with college degrees. Superintendent Polio, 50% of all Black public school teachers and Black personnel emanate from historical Black colleges and universities. 80% of all judges and over 30% of all Blacks in STEM attend HBCUs, because HBCUs not only provide and expose Black kids to realities that segregation and social isolation excludes them from, but it also gives them the confidence that they need to say, you know what, I can do this. The greatest investment that this city can make in the Black community is in this institution, this HBCU. And while I've got the mic, one thing you never do, you never give a teenager a phone, and you never give a preacher a microphone. But while I have the microphone, we have students who are coming from all over the country. Our city has had a major infusion of federal dollars, ARP dollars. And this institution is seeking to secure some of those ARP dollars for affordable housing that our students will have access to. Over 85% of our students are Pell Grant eligible. 70% of our students, here it is, 70% of our students are first generation college students. This is 2022. And in 2022, 70% of our students are first generation college students. And the only thing that is really missing, we've got great partnerships like JPMorgan Chase, but we need affordable housing in our community so that our students can access that. And once the kids in West Louisville see other kids who are pursuing degrees in technology, it will create for them new aspirational role models and also create a new norm that is so desperately needed in communities that have been historically disinvested in. So thank you so very much. I'll pass on.
Speaking of the new norm, Black women in data science is something that we are working towards. And as I shared the statistics earlier, 3% of data scientists are women of color. And we have got one powerful woman here today that is actually receiving a portion of the philanthropic investment given to us by JPMorgan Chase, Miss Alicia Mclean. Miss Alicia Mclean is going to receive $200,000 of that gift. And Alicia, talk about, if you could share with our viewers if you could share with us what Louisville, what the future of, share with Louisville what the future of work is. Talk about your organization. Talk about why this investment will be game-changing, not only for our community, but for Louisville. And then I also understand that this might just put us in the history books. Talk about that, Lisa.
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you so much to Simmons and to Reverend Dr. Cosby for having us here today. As Crystal said, I'm Alicia Mclean, Executive Director of the Microsoft Future of Work Initiative. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the Future of Work Initiative is a partnership between the City of Louisville and Microsoft in order to advance innovative technologies such as AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, Internet of Things, basically all things data science, and to prepare Louisville for the data economy and for family supporting wages. We actually are in a unique situation based on a Brookings Institute report, which actually spurred the future of work. We in Louisville are at high risk of losing jobs to automation, and those jobs are disproportionately held by Black and brown people and people from low socioeconomic status. So a big impetus and driver for the work that we do is to, in this fourth technological revolution, do it differently, frame it in equity, focus on marginalized groups and those who have historically been underrepresented in the field. And that is why this grant is transformative. We have a privilege, to Dr. Cosby's point, we are privileged to work with Louisville's only HBCU. I was thinking on my drive in today about data and data-driven decisions, and I was thinking about Dr. Polio, to my left here, who is on a daily basis using data to drive decisions that impact lives based on the pandemic and also, in addition, based on the social justice reckoning that we are all having, that we are all wrestling with, that started, or restarted, I should say, reignited maybe in 2020. And he is having to use data, and in a conversation with him just before, using the right data, determining what data to use. This is quantitative data that he is using to make those decisions. Dr. Polio is a leader, and that is part of what we are trying to stand up here with Simmons. Addition about Dr. Cosby and his role as a pastor with a mic. And I assume that Dr. Cosby in his sermons is not putting up pie charts and but he is bringing, and we are bringing, the lived experience of being Black in America. And that, my friends, is tremendous data as well. So if we can marry the quantitative data that a lot of times drives reports with the qualitative data of the lived experience and embed that in Louisville's only HBCU, well then we have succeeded. And I think we think of February and this day as the first day of Black History Month. We are focused and excited to partner with Simmons in thinking about Black future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Alicia. Now, Dr. Marty Polio, we weaved you into this conversation because JCPS has already partnered with Future of Work through the program known as the Butterfly Project, which is centered around Central High School. Now, JCPS has faced some criticism due to its poor testing scores of Black students in the area of science and math. Talk about how this new course pathway at Simmons could expand what is done at Central and what the Future of Work is doing. Talk about how this partnership can enhance that.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me. Dr. Cosby, congratulations once again. I enjoy coming down here and seeing the growth of Simmons College of Kentucky on a regular basis. I will start off with public service announcement number 1, which is on February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. It is important in our schools that all of our schools are working diligently to expand the curriculum, obviously teach our kids about Black history, not just in February, but every single month of the year, and not just for Black students, for all of our students. And our teachers have to have the capability to do that each and every day so that our curriculum affects and reflects all of our students. So that's so important to us. We'll be working hard this month, but we'll work hard every month for that. So, end of public service announcement. I think when we look at education right now, we have a tendency in our societies to say, this is the way I was taught back in school. And, people say this all the time, and I turned out fine. And then in the turn of the century, the early 2000s, we started hearing about how we as an education profession have to start preparing kids for industries and professions that don't exist yet. And that is our new world right now. So I will honestly tell you, I know very little about informatics. That is way outside of my expertise. I go in Central High School and see what some of these kids are doing, and it blows me away, the work that they are doing right now. But what we have here, I believe this, we have a perfect storm in Jefferson County and the city of Louisville with Simmons College of Kentucky. We have the Academies of Louisville, which is a program that gets kids, sometimes we like to say, the old vocational. Well, it's career and tech education. It makes learning relevant for students in our schools today. And ensures that they graduate from JCPS with a diploma and something else, like a credential, like a certification, college credit hours, ready to go right into a job in a high-wage profession. And we often think vocational is just the old skills. Yes, manufacturing, we have that in many of our schools, and it's very important to Jefferson County. But we also have to look at new technologies, new skills, the things that are going to make kids successful, that engage kids in school. On top of that, we now have the Evolve 502 scholarship. If you didn't know, every single JCPS graduate that is in high school right now for the next 3 years is guaranteed a scholarship, 2-year scholarship to JCTC or Simmons College of Kentucky. Every single graduate in JCPS. We graduate about 6,000 seniors every year. So 6,000 students have the opportunity to attend Simmons College of Kentucky, essentially without paying a dime. And now we have to align our programs with the Academies of Louisville with post-secondary partners. And there could not be a better partner to do this work than with Simmons College of Kentucky. And I will underscore what Dr. Cosby said. If we want to significantly impact student achievement, the college going rate, especially for our Black students and especially those that reside in West Louisville, we must, as a community, invest in Simmons College of Kentucky. We must ensure its success because I believe this is an institution that could and should have thousands of JCPS students enrolled on a yearly basis, going through our Academies of Louisville, graduating with a certification, college credit hours from Simmons College of Kentucky, and coming right here. And then on the backside of it, a thriving school of education here will change the demographics, not only of our teaching shortage that we have, but ensure, as Dr. Cosby said, that our teaching staff reflects our student population. So I can't say enough. The future of Simmons College of Kentucky is uniquely tied to JCPS, and both of our successes for our children depend on both institutions being successful. And that's why every time I have the opportunity to sit here, I will sit here and champion Simmons College of Kentucky.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marty Polio. Now time to hear from our VP of Research and Planning, who co-authored this grant with Dr. Chris Caldwell. Dr. Chris Caldwell, wave your hands there. Candace, will you talk about why you thought this pathway would be a good fit for Simmons, and then could you give us a breakdown on how this data integration into our courses will work?